much as it alone. Strange as it seems, deep in my heart, I do.
On May 20th, 1929, Time magazine ran an article entitled Hicks versus Ripley. Last week, the article read, McClure Newspaper Syndicate put out a new feature. At the head are the words, Strange as It Seems, by John Hicks. At the bottom appears the legend, If you doubt this, write for proof to the author. At only 20 years old, John Hicks had become the nation's youngest nationally syndicated artist. Originally from the South, John and his brother Ernest, who managed their business affairs, launched the feature out of a small apartment in Washington, D.C., and like the Disney brothers a decade earlier, the Hicks brothers took their fledgling feature out to Hollywood, California in 1931 with the hopes of building the Strange as It Seems brand into a multimedia empire. Strange as It Seems swiftly gained popularity through the 1930s, increasing to 313 daily strips and 52 Sunday comics per year. Published in over 1,300 newspapers, translated into several languages, and enjoyed by millions across the globe. In 1935, the Columbia Broadcasting System introduced a Strange as It Seems radio show that aired over 600 broadcasts and was sponsored by national brands such as X-Lax and Palmolive Shave Cream. Beginning in 1939, the show was hosted by Alois Avrila, awarded the nation's best radio announcer for his work with The Jack Benny Show and other popular programs of the day.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Palmolive Lather Cream and Palmolive Brushless, both made with soothing olive oil for greater shaving comfort, present Strange as It Seems. This is Alois Avrila bringing you fascinating stories which John Hicks, the famous cartoonist, has collected from every corner of the globe.
And strange as it seems, Lafayette was turned away at the door of the Continental Congress.
After Paramount released a few short films in the early 1930s based on the Ripley's Believe It or Not cartoon series, Universal Studios countered by signing the Hicks brothers to a contract to write and create 39 Strange as It Seems film shorts that played in over 6,000 theaters across the country. John Hicks's friendly rivalry with Robert Ripley reached new heights when Hicks scooped Ripley for a spot at the 1939 World's Fair in New York City. Not to be outdone, Ripley opened up his first auditorium just around the corner, which became the model for the Believe It or Not museums that would later spring up around the world. While Strange as It Seems featured the strange and unusual, it was less sensational than the other comic strips of the genre, publishing fewer stories on the circus-like aspect of the weird and unusual, and placing more emphasis on subjects such as art, literature, sports, history, science, and nature. John Hicks died of heart disease on D-Day, June 6, 1944, 11 days short of his 37th birthday. His brother Ernest continued to produce the feature until he too died tragically in a plane crash just a few years later. Ernest's wife Elsie carried the comic strip forward from 1948 to 1963, handing it over to her son Ernest Jr. and his wife Phyllis, who continued writing and producing the feature through the late 1960s. The comic strips were published in book form several times throughout its history, and the archives were painstakingly cared for by the Hicks family. The archives are a treasured trove of fascinating photographs, sketches, and letters, carefully filed by subject to prove the validity of every fact presented. This has been the hallmark trait of the Strange as It Seems brand, since John Hicks launched his first comic strip with the challenge, "If you doubt this, write for proof to the author." From the dustbin of history, Strange as It Seems has returned for the digital age. Strange as It Seems film shorts are once again being written and produced to educate and entertain a curious world, with stories mined from the archives as well as highlights the fascinating, weird, and unusual wonders that can still be discovered around the world today. In the spirit of John Hicks and in his words, Strange as It Seems will again feature the curious in nature and humankind, launched on the vast sea of public opinion with the hope that it will fulfill its mission to entertain and acquaint its viewers with some of the marvels of the world in which we live.